I guess we are live now. Is audio working? Can you put OBS and you have to force it to mono? Hmm? We're like small audio testing now, and then we'll get started. Yep. Laita mono. Force to mono.
Nice.
Okay, are we ready?
Yes.
Awesome. Do you want to do the honors,
Yes.
Violeta?
Hi everyone, welcome to another Pixels event. My name is Violeta, I'm the chairman of Pori Entrepreneurship Society. And here with me is once again Jani Grön.
Hello, I'm Jani, and I'm the co-hosting here with Pixels with Violeta, and also I'm the main organizer of the International College Jam #2. We have this as a nice co-event here on Friday. We have gonna have a nice program, also about the jam games and everything. Really happy to be here. My name is Jani. I'm a teacher of game development here at Sataidu, and we are right now in the Sataidu auditorium here. Really nice place to host this stream. I also am a member of IGDA, like the hub lead of Pori, and also I serve in the board of the Finnish Game Jam ry. So game jams are really close to my heart. I love them, and really happy to give out the pleasure of game jams to everyone around the world. So that's the big goal in the future.
Yes, we are coming off of a 4-day International College Jam, which the deadline was last night at midnight. We have currently audience from the International College Jam Discord, so hi everyone. Hope to see you later today at the demo clinic. So for everyone else, what is the Pixels event? We host this every year. The goal of the event is to bring spotlight into the game development industry, whether it's local here in Satakunta or around Finland or around the world. We try to pick companies who are interesting, who are doing something new, and we want to give them the opportunity to showcase what they're doing, share their story, and also try to get very interesting speakers who can bring something to the table, and hopefully everybody watching can learn something throughout the day. All of our videos are streamed via YouTube, and you can find links at pories.fi. The recording will stay on YouTube, so if you can't make the whole day, you are free to watch it there, as well as previous years. There are many hours of event streams on YouTube, and I do highly recommend the workshops. So today we want to have a very chill time, talk a bit about games, and have a couple wonderful workshops on gamification for everyday life, as well as starting up a company, which is building up upon last year's workshop on the differences between freelancing and entrepreneurship. This year we have, for the people who have decided what path they want to take, here are the options available. So I hope you guys enjoy it. We will be here until about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, depending on how long the demo clinic is going to take. If you are within the Pori area, we are at Sataidu Nakkila, so feel free to join us. There are spaces in the auditorium, so you're very welcome. And we have pizzas coming later today, so hope to see you guys throughout the day. Our first guest is going to be Yeti Care, and we will be back with you shortly. Hi everyone, we are back again live from Pixels 3 event. Here with us we have Matthias from Yeti Care, who has been one of the event sponsors for the entire week. And he will talk to us today a little bit about the Yeti tablet, as well as demo what the device is. As one of the event sponsors, there was also the opportunity for participants within the International College Jam to create games for the Yeti tablet, which functions with anything Android. The challenge has been great. So thank you, Matthias, once again for joining us as both as a sponsor and as a presenter during the Pixels 3 event.
Great. Hello everyone. I'm Matthias from Yeti Care and just gonna give you a small presentation what we have and why it could be interesting for you. So we are a Finnish company producing smart technology for everyone, and our product you can see behind me is 55 or 65 inch screen, and our customers will come a bit later and more. And if you have any questions, just pop on the chat, and then I'll let you know more. So, can you see the slide changing, or is it my? Okay.
Yep, all good.
So, our mission, our story started from our owners having three kids who all are on the autism spectrum, and they wanted to, when their children were getting exercises and so on, they wanted them to do them together and learn also how to socialize with each other and so on. So our mission started from the autistic side and then went quickly to schools, and now it's been going and growing for elderly care homes, for rehabilitation and so on. We just like all kind of games. We know how important they are for our customers, how important they are for the rehabilitation, and we feel like there's a lot of potential on there, and that's how we want to enable for everyone, even if you lack some motoric or maybe cognitive skills, that you could still participate gaming and socialize with each other. This is our progress. So our story started in 2015, and now we are our separate company, our own company, Yeti Care, last summer actually, and now we are building more and more the software for the Yeti tablet and also our own applications. And all the ideas for our applications basically come from the customer itself. So healthcare professionals realize that okay, this kind of application could be good. We really like playing bingo. We really like playing these word games. Can you develop something for us? And then we take that challenge and try to make them happy. Mainly, Yeti tablet can be found in a couple of countries, in Finland, in Sweden, now progressing Norway. Spain has been going on since 2015, and also a couple of devices can be found in UK and also in USA. And the sector where they are mainly elderly care homes, rehabilitation wards, like I said, and then people with disabilities, their day homes, daycare centers, and so on. This is a bit about Pori, not important for us. Here you can see some customer segments, so really wide, and that's a big challenge for us also. So the apps that we develop, we try to make them easy to use, and so that they could be used in school setting, but also in the care home. And maybe even the physiotherapist, occupational therapist could be using. So really, as you know, from the Play Store you can basically download anything. So that's like a normal tablet, and then the possibilities are exponential. So we are just trying to give something easy for the customers to start using with their patients, whether they are children or elderly people. A bit about our solution. Like I said, there's the huge screen. That's really it's kind of like rock, so it doesn't break easily. It can be used in psychiatric wards even, and so on. So it's really safe for the users, and they don't need to worry about breaking your phone or your screen or whatever. Then there's the Android operating system. Then we have the Yeti launcher that has some tools to make it even easier to use in the healthcare setting. And then of course the healthcare apps, both our own and then from the Play Store. We try to push pre-install for the devices, good applications, Angry Birds, Fruit Ninja, Sudokus, chess, and so on. Those really popular apps that also are really popular among the healthcare sector. There you can see some of our customers, so worldwide, and we are trying to continuously open new countries. During the COVID, we started Norway. Now there's about 20 devices. It has been used in Oslo, biggest rehabilitation ward for the brain infarct. So really widely we try to cooperate with the largest university hospitals, care providers, and so on, to get more and more experiences and testimonials. But also we are trying to open up the huge research potential. So we are cooperating currently with Oulu University, and some first actual proper research papers are planned to be carried out. So currently we have a lot of positive feedback from our customers, but we also want to show and have evidence that it's actually working, it's activating, it's rehabilitating the customers, and so on.
That sounds really cool. Awesome.
There's a couple of customer reviews. Basically, what's the main potential and why customers love Yeti tablet? It supports multiplayer option, and basically every activity you do organize, it's easy first, and then it also gets the attention of everyone in the room. So in the care homes, your function level can be really wide, and Yeti tablet usually gathers the attention and makes everything group activity, and then it also has the social aspect. So it's just our aim is to provide good applications and easy to use for the care homes too, because we know the challenge is that it's all over Europe, it's all over in Finland. We are lacking of nurses. We have to find ways how to support the work well-being with the nurses, and also how to provide meaningful activities, some meaningful things that people wait and are eager to play. There are some cases. There's one short video. Let's see if it plays out. Nope. Great. Then I think I can move for the applications. Just the background for it. So like I said before, they come straight from the customers. And we try to make as many as possible. trying to cover these areas that we hear from so whether it's a physical exercises, whether it's a social interaction, social skills, as we know a lot of kids nowadays need support for that. So just all over, we try to provide some good ones there. And our applications are no advertisements, so as you know from the Play Store, they usually interrupt the playing quite a bit. And if you think about you are a bit elderly with some dementia issues already, or you are a nurse who just wants something easy, then the advertisements from the Play Store apps, they can be really disruptive and confuse both the nurse and the patient. Okay, here's some list, but thank you for now. And then I'll move and show you a couple of applications behind me so you get better idea. The Yeti tablet, we usually have it in a stand that you can move up and down or even flip it like a table and then gather all the people around. We try to provide and make it easy for the customer. So try to make a couple of folders under the screen. Hopefully you can see even a bit. There's some motoric, entertainment, coordination, some brain games, and some other applications. And we can start with maybe our most popular ones. Yeti tablet has the infrared screen, so we can use it with some pen. We can use it with pencil, or then we can use these kind of softballs and play some darts we can throw onto the screen. We can knock some cups and so on. And these kind of applications that mimic the real activity that people can use and I've been doing for many years, they are really great because they are really familiar to start with, and then the technology doesn't seem so scary when it's something that you've been playing outside and so on. And maybe now you cannot go outside anymore, but you can still play the dart with us and so on.
Nice. Can you hit 3 bullseyes in a row?
Nope.
Nice. What does it say? It looks really cool, those effects. I can't read the text. What does it say?
It says how many points you get. So
awesome. What are the colors? Like there was green, blue, and what
green,
do the
blue? But then if it's so, this can be played with 4 players at the same time and have a good competition going on.
Okay.
If your function is great, you can step back, but sometimes we even see that the touch needs to be going from here. So it really depends on your capability, your abilities, how you play this game, but it's also always provides some joy and that kind of stuff.
Makes sense, yeah.
Other similar one is the bowling. Again, we can move the tablet almost to the ground and then mimic from the down under, or then we can use the same one. Now I got the strike, but
nice.
These are really cool, and usually the nurses love it. They easily get it, like, okay, I know people who will like this game a lot. Then we have to pop some bubbles.
Oh, that looks fun.
And imagine the setting that you are on a wheelchair next to the screen, and you have to. What you get when you are playing this, you are getting, you are activating your hands. Oh, okay, I'm lost. You are activating your hands. You are interacting maybe with the other one. If you are 2 players, you are actively moving your hands, rehabilitating right hand shoulder and so on.
Oh, so is it like every player has its own color and they try to get their own points as fast as possible?
That can be played like that, but that's like more common. And as you can see, really simple, but the feedback we get is great. So
Awesome.
actually, many of our customers, they like that it's simple. And so right now, like obviously there's a lot of potential in this health gaming in the end, but what we have seen is that usually the simple the better. So it requires from the nurse maybe to activate to cheer up, but usually it also happens with the customers itself. It starts coming and something else.
Does it have any
Going-
music in the background? Or anything
It
like
has some sounds, but not like music itself. But it has some sound feedback, and that's what we try to. They really motivate, and our feedback system could be really better. Our gamification could be better. Everything could be better, but like the feedback we get is really lovely all already. So
Because you could put some pop music on the background.
Also, for those watching the stream, if you are playing and if you are of the age of drinking, you can play a shot game every time you notice Yanni making a dad joke or a pun of some sort. And let us know in the comments what is your score by the end of this event.
Well, you don't know how much I resisted myself when there was the nurses like the bowling. Because, strike. But I can't
maybe
do it
that's
twice.
something we're gonna develop. So beer pong table maybe for the next, or some kind of ideas. But yeah, lot of ideas come from our workers. Even they have kids who know what they like to do and so on. But just providing this might be really familiar car park. And what we try to do is provide challenge so you can make it difficult if it's too easy, and then it really takes some time, so I won't be wasting it now. But
Yeah. It works really smoothly with that, so that's really nice.
And I think the biggest benefits in a device like that, and why I wanted you to come on Pixel 3 to begin with, is that even back in the day while I was still studying physiotherapy, and I got to see the prototype of the Yeti tablet, and we got to build a game for rehabilitation on it. It has the motivation and entertainment that rehabilitation is really lacking at the moment. I think for a lot of people could be a lot more beneficial if they could play a game. They would much rather do the exercises that way, where it doesn't really feel like they're exercising, instead of following a piece of paper with a couple exercises on it that doesn't motivate you in any way. It feels like a chore, and most people just simply don't follow these activities more than 3 to 4 days, which in turn they could be the best exercises in the world, but if nobody does them, they don't work. So having also today, a bit later, we're going to have Victoria Chisley-Bartels, who talks a lot about everyday gamification. And the theme today is definitely well-being and gamification, and how to move that world forward. To the students watching who have been developing during the week, having a simple game is not a bad thing necessarily. It doesn't always have to be very complex. It can be very simple with very minimal functionality, but it can serve a huge goal when it comes to someone's well-being and someone's rehabilitation. Much bigger importance would be not necessarily having the best graphics possible, but rather a good idea and very good motivational techniques. It could be as simple as having a score. People get very motivated from having a score, for having the option of competition. That is why one of the challenges was to make a local multiplayer game if possible. So people like competition, people get competitive when they are placed in the spot with someone else, they will naturally want to do better. So they're more likely to try again and again and again to get a better score, which means it's already much more likely that they'll do the activity more than if a physiotherapist or a nurse would be simply instructing them. So from a healthcare professional point of view, I am very excited about all possibilities when it comes to digital gamification, any kind of device that brings more fun into rehabilitation, that it is fun for the patients, it is fun for the rehabilitees, and also for the workers.
Yeah, the feedback we get from rehabilitation ward that rehabilitates people who suffer from stroke injuries and so on. So they really, it's a drastic change. And what we get from the balance is that they usually can even 30 seconds longer can hold the position that they are using compared to when they are having the screen activity. So, and we are trying to do this balance activities with elderly people who are in the home. We bring some kind of Yeti tablet onto their homes, and then they have to hold the position, this semi-tandem, that you are standing feet really close together, and then you are trying to do some games, playing games, and let's see, hopefully we can see the results that they actually, their balance will increase and so on. And this is really important, as we know risk of falling and falling injuries are huge. Plays a major role in the hip injuries are really taking toll on the healthcare system, so that's why. But what you said, the competition, this is a really simple game. Your mission is to move this one over here, and it gets harder, couple of more items and so on. And this, when it's flipped, it can be 4 players, and I've seen the elderly people go crazy when they start to compete with each other. So this is actually really fun, and doesn't need too much, that it still attracts the people, and they get the when you play some game, you want to be successful, you want to compete, maybe you want to see the score going up, and this just provides easy way to do those. And mainly we know that in the care homes the daily life can be a bit challenging, so we want to provide some joyful moments for both the nurses and the people. But yeah,
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is short presentation about the Yeti and what we can offer for the people who are watching, or if you are interested in health tech, making applications, maybe you have some ideas. We have a lot of ideas, so if you are interested, just I can forward my mail address and you can pop up a message. We can offer internship, we can offer summer jobs maybe, and so on. So but really want to encourage people to think about the health gaming side, because like Violetta said, there's a lot of potential, and I think it will be growing. And at the moment, for example, in the Germany, the what's the Kela in but anyway, the government can pay you for an application if it's proof that it's helps to rehabilitation. And we know how a lot of problems there are now with the mental health. So those kind of games and applications, really we need to find ways how you can daily play some game that helps you, whether it's a mental health or cognitive issues or something. So it's gonna be changing, I think, in a couple of years, that more and more evidence-based games will get support also, not just from the professionals but also from the government and so on.
I'm personally very excited about it. As somebody who likes gaming and who likes to have fun, doing very mundane exercises is just not, there's nothing motivating about it. And I don't think wellness needs to be a chore. Getting well or getting better, rehabilitating should not be a chore. It should be a part of life. That yes, we are people, we are not always healthy. Sometimes something happens and then we just need to rehabilitate and get back to where we were, or learn to cope with the life as it is. And having something fun that is adaptable is a huge benefit when it comes to that. And I hope that for any of the students watching, whether you chose this week Yeti Care as your challenge for the jam, or if you are now getting more ideas for any future possibilities. And I do hope that we have Yeti as a future sponsor as well at the next jams. I hope that people would like to consider doing something like that, whether it's single player or multiplayer. That is a different question depending on the jam durations. But you can really produce something simple and effective with a higher chance of improving someone's life. So why not give it a shot?
Yeah, exactly.
And it is a very nice thing to have on your CV as well, if you have done a health tech game. And I have to say, like from a personal experience with the Yeti tablet, it was very nerve-wracking the first time we had the demo and we were told, oh yeah, you can just throw a ball at it, it's okay. So it was very nerve-wracking that you could actually throw a solid object at the tablet. And we were kicking footballs at it and it was just perfectly fine. There was no issues about it. So that definitely increases the potential of what kind of games you can do, which you absolutely cannot do with any other electronic device out there. Yeah. So it is, in my opinion, it's a great piece of equipment, and I hope that more people can hear about it now. Of course, we have quite a large group from the Netherlands, so I hope that we can continue growing the audience for it and the development kit as well. And it's a good opportunity for students as well as an experience.
Yeah, definitely. And as a teacher of game design, one thing that really, like, from a game design standpoint, that really is interesting with the Yeti tablet is like the physical movement in the game, like how you can make physical movement fun. And this is something that you can actually do. You use your body, you use your movement. So you have this kinesthetic aesthetic with the game. So that's really nice. So it's not just pushing buttons, but you actually use your body, like in VR or AR. But this is also bring the physical side, because our bodies are made to move, and movement can be really fun in itself. So that brings the games to the next level, and then having some fun exercising is like a nice side effect of the fun game. So I think that would be the ideal position. So it's really cool. And we have a comment from the YouTube chat that Nora says that it sounds like a very cool application, definitely would consider. So there's some future interest, definitely. And hopefully Yeti Tablet will be sponsoring the next jam, cooperating, and I'm really looking forward to our Sataedu students doing some work with the Yeti Tablet, making some cool apps and games with it in the future. Hopefully we'll get one in Nakkila, maybe. Yeti Tablet would be really cool. Have one here physically on site for people to see. Would be really fun. And that one football game really reminded me of air hockey, that kind of game. I used to play that a lot when going to the cruise ships. I love that little game. So much fun. And yeah, looks fun, and lots of good things in the future.
Any questions from here? I have a question. We have a question from Lauri here. You can have it if you
can come here, Lauri, and ask questions.
Yeah, hello. I'm Lauri from Pori. I have quite a specific question. That is, the Finnish Defense Forces logo was on the clients list or whatever. Are you able to tell us what they use the tablets for, or is it super secret?
Ooh, I also want to know.
To be honest, I don't even know, but I know it's Pori related, so the screen manufacturer has been doing something for them.
Perhaps it's even that durable that even they want it.
Yeah, it is actually. So
Portable cover.
So or the Pori company which produces the Yeti tablet, they also build a lot of outdoor screens, payment terminals, and they can be found in the Levi, in the Lapland, in the ski resorts, in the train stations, and so on. So probably, whether you know it or not, you've spotted Pori screens. They are quite all over right now. And if you go abroad and you go some nice golf resort, there might be these TrackMan devices, and they are completely from us. So a lot of other things as well besides the healthcare, but this is something that we are now focusing with the Yeti Care.
That makes sense. It's kind of like a funny mental image came to my head that the touchscreen is so durable that you can even shoot at it with the assault rifle, and it will tell you like, oh, you hit this spot in the the target. 10 out of 10 marksmanship.
So kind of like Nokia.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna bounce back at the shooter, so they can't use it anymore.
That brings to I believe the initial course that I took when it came to Yeti tablet, it was called Pori Tech at that point, and then Yeti was just the name of the tablet. But it was promoted as something that can be used at construction sites. So in terms of probably not within the scope of a game jam, but in terms of game development, serious games is something that can be developed for training personnel. And if that involves having a very rugged tablet that you can train somebody on, regardless of where they are, whether it's outdoor or in a very hazardous environment, then that is also one opportunity.
Is there any more questions in the YouTube chats or in the Discord? We have a little bit of time left.
Yes, we have currently two Discord channels, so we are taking questions through the Pori Yes server. You can leave the questions in the general chat. We'll make sure to pass them on. Then there's the International College Jam, where you can also leave questions, and also on the YouTube chat.
Yeah. For the international jammers, I would suggest use the YouTube top chat to post the question, so it's the most easiest to see for everyone. There was a question from Nora. Is Yeti Care just from Finland, or is it also located elsewhere? Matias.
So yeah, our office and the team is quite small, but here in Espoo, Finland, but we operate mainly through resellers in different countries. So in Sweden we have our own reseller. Here in Finland we have our own reseller. In Spain we have two. In UK too, and so on. So it's a quite big network in the end, and depending on the country where and how they operate, but basically through us. So we are just trying to make the product as good as possible, and the others will mainly take part of the selling and marketing and so on. Of course, we do that too. Yeah.
Do you have a reseller in Holland?
No, we don't.
Or not yet.
So,
Not yet.
not yet.
Because now there's some interest in
from,
Landstede, perhaps.
I got the request from Italy, so now we are focusing a lot in the Nordics. Finland and Sweden are operating really nicely, but opening Norway even biggerly, and Denmark, Iceland, and then going. But Spain is going right now really well, and so on. So it fluctuates a lot, and depending on the funding in Sweden, there was a lot of funding from the government for these care homes to provide digital tools, and hopefully it will go larger, that the government realizes how, whether it's a Yeti tablet or some other tool, we need to provide some tools for the nurses who are working.
That's fantastic, and I would like to thank you once again for coming here, for being the very awesome contact person from Yeti, and also for sponsoring the International College Jam. I hope that for the participants of the College Jam, they have gotten some more inspiration or more ideas on what other things you could do through game development, as it is a very powerful tool that can affect a lot of different people from different locations in the world and for different purposes. So I hope that was a very nice info for them. I wish that we can continue our collaboration, and
Yes.
also I hope that you enjoy the rest of the event if you have the opportunity to tune in. If anyone wants contact to Matthias or Yeti Care, you can go on their website. We have all links available on the pories.fi/pixels3. So you can go there and check it out. We have all links available. If for some reason you cannot reach him, just contact us and we'll get you the contacts.
Yes. And also, as a fun ending note, there was a comment from Bart. I'm telling you, the grannies here in the Netherlands are hardcore gamers, so your product would be great. So that's really nice.
Awesome.
It's like we have to realize that if and when we play these games already now, and my parents play games, the solitaire, Sudoku, when they get to the point of age that they go to the care home, why should the gaming stop suddenly? It's one of the activity that we enjoy, and we just have to find tools to make it able to continue playing as long as you have the passion for it. So
Yeah, exactly. My dad plays Spider Solitaire all the time, and he's pushing 80, so gamers never die.
Sometimes they do,
Yeah, well,
but they have many lives.
yeah. Continue.
Yes.
Insert coin.
Yes, but thank you so much, and we will take a short break, after which we will have our first keynote speaker, Victoria Chisney Bartels, who will talk to us about self-gamification, gamifying life, gamifying health, and everything else along those lines. So stay tuned.
Yes, thank you again, Matthias.
Thank you.
thanks a lot, everyone. Wishing everyone a great spring.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to it. I hope it will be of value and interesting. So
Yeah, I think so.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Like everyone has been hearing me get excited about you coming to the talk, but it's really difficult to actually bring the content that you make because there's so much variety in it, and I'm generally very excited that that you said yes. So hi everyone, welcome back to the stream. Here we have Victoria Chisley Bartels, who is our keynote speaker today, and who is a wonderful, very prolific author on gamification and just magician with words when it comes to gamifying literally everything. And who comes from a little bit of a different background compared to most of you watching us today. She is not a game developer in terms of programming or designing a game, a computer game or a video game of any sort, but the gamification she does is something that I think computer game designers can definitely take a lot from and learn how to create a better user experience, because the gamification ideas come from being a user of gamification techniques every single day in every aspect of your life. So how to improve that, since essentially you are making games for people to play. So I'm very, very, very happy that you managed to come and speak at our event. So currently we are live on YouTube. We have live audience here at Sata Edu. We are on 2 servers. So one is the Pori ES server, one is the International College Jam server. So if anyone at any point has questions, please try to concentrate them on YouTube or in the International College Jam server at the Pixels thread, or on the Pori ES server in the general chat. You can throw those there, and we'll make sure that Victoria gets them. But without further ado, would you like to tell us about your topic today and yourself?
yes, thank you very much. So I will go to the presentation. So how to see and master life gamefully, in other words, with ease and success. And I call it self-gamification way. So, and I will tell you about self-gamification in a moment. But first, I would like to introduce myself and actually do it gamefully. And as Violeta said, I turn everything into fun games all my life, or I try to see it as a game, and I realized it is a game that I can design and play. So let me also play the introduction game. Feel free, play it wherever you want to play it, and if the situation works for it. So the introduction game, I used it for the first time. I came up with the idea when I was teaching languages, and where people, adults are really a bit anxious in the evenings after a long day, you know, to come and to learn a foreign language. So they're really tired, and so we didn't know each other. So this is when I came up with idea. So I take a die with me, and I said, okay, let's roll the die and then see how many, what the number we get, and introduce ourselves in the in so many sentences as the die is showing. So, and I also said to them, so what they should use or put in the introduction. So for myself today, the challenge is that I introduce my name, say where I am from, what do I do when it comes to games, and why. And then, of course, more information is welcome. The players can add. And there is a variant. For example, maybe you heard about story cubes. These are cubes with different images on it. So you roll it as well, and use one of the words in your presentation. So I will try to do it. So we will see how I will do. Oh, I have 5, and I have it's a falling star. I don't know what's that. So I hope. So I will try in five sentences. So my name is Victoria Ainas Labuckas. Then I am originally from Moldova, a German citizen now while living in Denmark. I bring self-help or self-care with game design, gamification, anything playful and gameful. I do it because it is fun. And I do it because I want to help people to find fun and success in what they do. So I hope it may give you an idea of the game. Oh, I forgot the falling star. Sorry. Yeah, so that their wishes come true. So sorry for so I didn't quite manage it, but it was like 5.5 sentences. So I hope it worked. So let's continue. But you probably get the idea. So whatever the challenge, whatever comes, so be gameful, playful, and on the spot. And I will show you how to do that. And I started seeing any information that comes our way. I started calling them awareness boosters. So what I mean with that is that you have this some information just go by, and you don't notice anything, but some resonates with you, sometimes uncomfortably. But sometimes you have like aha moments. Oh, wow. And I see that those, we can use those even uncomfortable information as aha moments. So I call them awareness boosters. And I think it's really, the boosters element in games, it's something that gives you possibility to, opportunity to get to your goal in a better way, in a more empowered way. So here, and I use a lot of inspiring quotes. They help me on the way. So here are 2 awareness boosters, and they're really eye-opening. So the first one is, as soon as you have a goal, you have a game. So while you design your games during these game jams, you actually play a game of a game designer. So to be aware of that, it's really interesting, because then you can adjust it to your, to the way you want it most and works best for you. Then another one, I really liked it. I discovered it a couple of months ago. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. And I think it's really interesting, because then you can change your attitude to a playful and gameful. And when you are playful and gameful, you are resourceful. So you have a lot of ideas and actually can act immediately. Okay, and here's another quote that actually was mind-blowing to me. And it was actually in a book. It's a New York Times bestselling author, Jane McGonigal, and she's one of the most famous game designers in the world. So her book is Reality is Broken, and she shows why the game are so good and how we can learn from games and how we can, as she says, fix reality because it's broken. But when I read this book, and especially this quote, I realized, wait a second, wow. And let me read it for you. So what defines a game are the goal, the rules, the feedback system, and voluntary participation. Everything else is an effort to introduce and enhance these 4 core components. And when I saw this, I was like, oh my goodness, anything can be seen as a game, everything. So when I sign a contract, employment contract, there is a goal, there are rules, how I should report, what should I do. There is a feedback system, regular conversations with my boss, and so on. And there is voluntary participation. I even sign it that I'm willing to do that. Of course, there are differences there, but and game designers in the gamification community that said it's not exactly the same. But actually, if you look at the games like World of Warcraft or other, you sign contracts there too. You say the users, you agree to conditions and so on, and you pay for those games. But you also, this voluntary participation means that you can go and leave and come back at will. And we do the same with the project and our work. I mean, we don't do it 24 hours, but we go and do something else and come back. So basically, this is very, very connected.
Well, so, that's pretty amazing. Like, I'm like I have to think about this really carefully, like in the future, because the definement of a game is something that's almost like impossible question. What is a game? That is something that is very like keeps me up at night sometimes. So I have to think about this. That's pretty cool.
Brilliant. Yes, and it's again and again an aha moment actually for me when I realize when I sometimes upset and I think about it and I'm thinking, well, wait a second, sadness and upset they have the same game components too. So they have a certain goal. When we are upset and angry, we want to attract attention of someone else, and the rules is to be angry, not to be kind, but angry. And feedback system when you got someone's attention and they got angry too. So that's but then you realize, do I want to play this game or do I want to play something else? So you can actually switch, So that's really, this game thinking is really, really helpful. And what I realized when I was starting, I actually didn't know about gamification when I started turning my life into fun games. And when it was working and I wrote a small book called 5-Minute Perseverance Game, I realized that I was bringing three things together. And then later, over time, I do it already over 5, 6, 7 years, depending how you look, how much of my life I started. So since over 5, the whole life, 6 or 7 years, parts of my life turning into fun games. So what I realized is that these three components, you could say it's also like a Swiss Army knife, this approach when you have three things in one, like a great tool. So, or you can also see it as a gameplay loop, like a small piece of you're probably aware of this, a smaller step in the game to make the progress. And then you can also see it as three real-life role-playing games. I call them actual real-life role-playing games. And this comes from the fact that both games and life are fractal. So they are small pieces, of a game goes into bigger ones. Like, for example, gameplay loop, then you have levels, and then you have the whole epic game. And the same with life. You have moments, you have days, of course, hours in between, and then weeks and so on, and the whole life. Or you have projects and you have life and so on. So it's fractal. And this is the beauty of it, because then when you want to reach a big goal, you can, see the part and take the smallest one and then, progress with smaller steps. So there's three components: a gameplay loop or real role play game are anthropology or awareness. So you can play so-called self-anthropology, because I'm talking about, turning our own lives into fun games. Then Kaizen, and it is a Japanese philosophy, but it's actually came originally from USA. It's about breaking anything. So it's not only small steps. So here it says small steps, but actually breaking anything into small things, in small bits. So it can be a reward, a problem, a challenge, a question, a wish, a goal to go somewhere or to reach something. So everything into smaller bits, most digestible bits. And then gamification, and I call it, it's not only, bringing elements, game elements into real life context, but it's actually anything gameful and playful. And I also consider play as a game too, because everything is a game. So self-gamification is non-judgmental, incremental, and iterative and gameful approach to life. So the first step in the gameplay loop, or the first role-playing game, is self-anthropology. So the trick here is to be your own anthropologist. And here's the brilliant quote, which actually explains you the rules of the game. And it is by Ariel and Shaya Kane. And I had an honor to meet them at their live seminars, and they're really great and interesting people to interact with. And their books, I really recommend reading them, about living in the moment. I consider them the best books there are. So here's your self-anthropology game. Practice your anthropological approach. Pretend you're a scientist observing a culture of one person, yourself. The trick is not to judge what you see, but to neutrally observe how you function, including your thought processes. Awareness and kindness are key. And it's really important to be aware and kind. And this is what also genuine games, I think, are, they are really kind, because they are of service to others, to entertain them, to help them, to make them laugh, and smile. So, and your superpower, awareness, and the booster, and the ultimate tool of a good anthropologist is awareness. And this is, again, from Ariel and Shai Arcane, and they have, I think, the best definition and the most insightful definition of awareness. It's a non-judgmental, non-preferential seeing. It's an objective, non-critical witnessing of the nature, or what we call the isness of any particular circumstance or situation. It can be described as an ongoing process in which we are bringing yourself to the moment, rather than complaining